Okay, what's going on, guys? Main Event Matt here. Time to do my Ultima Lucha review for tonight's show. It's Ultima Lucha Dose. Night 2, Week 2, whatever you want to call it. It's a bit dark over here. I was going to do it over there, but we'll put it over here and see how this looks. Yeah, okay. This one's going to be a bit quicker, simply because there's 2 matches on the card tonight. Didn't like the first one, simply because the sexy star bitch won, and I can't fucking stand her. I know people are going to get angry when I say that. No, dislike, thumbs down. What the fuck ever, I don't care. I'm stating my opinion. I fucking hate her. She is stupid. I cannot stand her gimmick. Her gimmick is fucking retarded. Her wrestling ability is mediocre compared to the rest of Lucha Underground wrestlers. I'm not saying she's bad, but I'm saying she's not as good as the rest of Ultima Lucha or the rest of luchadors or luchadoras in the company. So, in that, she should not be holding that, and from what I've heard, she's going to cash in and win the championship against Mil Muertes, which is very random. So it'll probably be at the end of the year next year. Probably be at Ultima Lucha Trace. But yeah, so she won that match. We got the debut of a luchador named Nightclaw, which was very fucking awesome. He's a badass, whoever the fuck he is. I'm not sure who exactly he is, but he was awesome. He ended up doing a moonsault off the top of Dario Cueto's office, the first ever backflip off the office, which was ridiculous. It made me get up and run up to the TV when I seen it. They had some spot with Cuerno to where, or not Cuerno, Killshot, I guess it was. And Mariposa to where she was going for like a, what the fuck was she going for? She was going for like a sunset flip or something, and then Killshot caught her, and then flipped her over into like a position here where you got the chicken wing gut buster type thing, or like the glam slam position more or less, but with an overhead lock, an overhead arm hook lock, a full Nelson lock if that helps, but they were positioned like the glam slam. He had her up there, and then he flips her forward with one arm and hooks the legs with the other and turns it into a cradle pile driver, or a cradle package, or whatever you want to call it. Ends up hitting her with that. Surprisingly enough, does not get her eliminated, because I believe Marty breaks it up, I think, is how it goes. Or no, he did that to Nightclaw. He did that to, my bad, he did that to Nightclaw, and he got Nightclaw out with that. Nightclaw, although eliminated Sinestro de la Muerte, one of the Disciples of Death, he eliminated him. He eliminated... What the fuck else was in the match? He eliminated him. He eliminated... Shit, he eliminated like 2 guys. He eliminated Dogga and some other guy. He had 3 eliminations. No, he had 2, because Killshot was going to be the 3rd. Yeah, he had 2 eliminations in that match. Pretty good. Killshot ended up eliminating him, of course. And then it was down to Killshot, Sexy Stars, bitch ass, Marty the Moth, and Mariposa. And it ended up coming all the way down to Marty the Moth and Sexy Star one-on-one for the final 2. Killshot was the one that got eliminated after that because Marty and her double-teamed him while Sexy Star's bitch ass was on the outside. But Killshot ended up getting hit with the Invertebreaker, or the Vertebreaker, I should say, which is the, like, it's like a reverse butterfly pile driver is almost what I want to call it if you don't know what the Vertebreaker is. I don't know, it's Homicide's move, the cop killer, or the gringo killer, I guess now it is. Or the, or Seth Rollins did it, I do believe, at some house show, and you'll probably know what I'm talking about with that. The Vertebreaker is what she used, and she calls it the butterfly effect, which is pretty cool, considering it's a butterfly hook inverted pile driver. So, I like the name, I like the move, it's all good. She got Killshot out with that. Then, I'm not sure exactly how Sexy Star's bitch ass eliminated Mariposa, because I was fast forwarding after that, because I knew her ass was going to win. She's going to win when it's 2-on-1. Oh, she's going to defy all the odds and win. They always do that shit at Ultima Lucha. So I knew that bull crap was coming, so I was like, okay, we're not watching this shit. Fast forward. The first time I ever fast forwarded in Lucha Underground, because I did not give a fuck about her winning whatsoever. Yeah. Dislike. I know I'm going to get a bunch of thumbs down. I really don't give a fuck. She did that shit, and then she ended up getting some type of Fujiwara armbar, I do believe is what it was, on Marty, because I did see that, and then he tapped out. And yay, now she's the Gift of the Gods champion. Eventually, she's going to become the Lucha Underground champion, and I'm going to want to gouge my eyes out. But it'll still be better than Raw, so there you go. No hate, still better than Raw. And then, of course, the main event was the death match, the second ever death match in Lucha Underground history between Mil Muertes and King Cuerno. It's the Hunter versus the Reaper of Souls, the man of 1,000 deaths or whatever. Very good match. Very good match. I liked it. I really liked the arrow from the depths of hell into Mil Muertes, into the crowd part. That was freaking cool. Another spot that was cool was when Mil was just telling everyone to leave. He just throws his arms out like that, and then everyone's like, "Oh fuck!" So then the crowd just runs over to the side, and then Mil just chucks Cuerno into the freaking crowd. He ended up bringing out a ladder in this match first, and he ended up hitting him with a ladder. Then they took a big back body drop spot onto the ladder when it was leaned up against Dario Cueto's office, which was fucking sick. Mil Muertes was the one that ended up getting it. King Cuerno did a cool throw off the wall type tornado DDT to where like he ran up the wall and like caught Mil Muertes in a tornado DDT. It was really cool. Ran off the wall, I guess I should say, more or less. But it was a really cool spot. I like that. I'm trying to think of all the spots. Then they got steps out. They got those freaking wooden steps out, which I was hoping to hell they were going to do a back body drop on that, because that would be killer. They ended up fighting up into the music stand area, which was freaking hilarious. And then they're just like, Mil Muertes grabs the mic all of a sudden. I'm thinking, is he going to sing or something? I don't think he really does anything. But then the band guys give him his drums or whatever, and he smashes Cuerno's head into the drum. I was hoping he like smashed Cuerno's head through the drum. So then when Cuerno stood up, just the drums around his head. That would have been funny. That's something stupid WWE would have done, though. And then they did a freaking vicious spot after setting up tables all around the arena, which was freaking great. They literally set up tables all around the arena. There's 4 tables set up, and I'm wondering what the hell they're going to do. That's at the end. We'll wait for that. But they end up going up to the top and fighting amongst the crowd, and King Cuerno ends up putting Mil's head through the glass window in the back. Like, it's just a full-on wall of little pieces of glass window. And they're like kind of like stained over and really dark and dirty looking. Well, Mil Muertes ends up getting his head put through one of them, which I would be scared to death to do that. Because when you do that, your head's going to be poking out. You're going to see all the way down to the ground, which was fucking great because we got a good camera angle of it. And like you can see outside, and I was like, oh shit. And then King Cuerno thinks he's down and whatnot. He thinks Mil's down, so he's celebrating up there. He's like, yeah. Look at me, look what I did. I don't know, I'm doing the Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero thing right now, but he's like, look at what I did. And then Mil just turns right around, grabs Cuerno by the back of the head, and just throws him through one of the freaking glass panes. I was thinking, oh god, if they do a spot to where they secretly, like, that's not actually the full drop-off or whatever, you just make it look like they think it is, and there's, like, a building not too far below it, or, like, there's a drop-off. Like, that's just, like, the higher part of the building is what I was thinking. There's, like, a building not too far, like, below it, like, part of the building. And they had, like, a mattress down there or something. I was like, oh, God, if they throw Cuerno through the wall and, like, they act like he fell, like, stories above or whatever, and, like, he's dead or something, I will freaking die. That would be the greatest thing ever. They need to do that to someone who's leaving Lucha. Just throw him through that. As long as there's a platform down to where they can land on and not die. Because if they literally die, I don't want to let them to have have to try like some parachute thing. Although that wouldn't work. They'd hit the ground before the parachute went off. But that's not the point. That spot really worried me. And then they bring him back down to the ring. They're setting up tables all over this place. Mil Muertes ends up going for a powerbomb through the 4th table that he sets up. Doesn't happen. King Cuerno counters it with a DDT, and then they have like a 4th table. They end up setting up a 4th table up against the wall, I believe Cuerno does. And at this point, you think Cuerno's going to put him through the freaking table? The steps are setting up over there where they set them up way earlier in the show. Then they put the table there. It's smart if you put something up and you go back to it, because people will forget about it, and it'll make it even more epic when you do it, which is what that did. Then King Cuerno goes and grabs Katrina by the throat, basically, and is threatening to put her through the table. And then all of a sudden, Mil Muertes comes out of nowhere, runs up the steps, jumps into King Cuerno with the Reaper's Trident through the freaking table, the spear. And he did it diving style through the damn table as up against the wall. And that was insane. And then Mil gets up and you can just see he's freaking pissed. No one touches Katrina. he ends up grabbing King Cuerno, throws him, powerbombs him through one of the tables, then drags him around the ring, powerbombs him through the third one, and then drags him all the way back around the ring and powerbombs him through the final one. The freaking ref and the EMTs and everyone's trying to check on him. The medical staff is trying to check on him. He just throws him off to the side, throws Cuerno back in the ring, and then while Cuerno's trying to get up, he grabs a freaking crowbar and ends up hitting King Cuerno in the back of the head with the damn crowbar, and then tombstones him to get the win, which was freaking sick. I don't know if Mil's using the tombstone now as his finisher. I guess it makes sense because they're trying to build Mil like the Undertaker, I guess, almost. He's like Lucha Underground's Undertaker, really, so having him do the tombstone makes sense to me. I'm okay with it. And I think it was great. Very good match. They had him stretchered off. Very good job. At the end of the show, Vampiro ends up getting up, throwing away his medicine into the trash, and leaves. So we might see Vampiro. We might actually see Vampiro at Ultima Lucha next week, which is going to be great because, of course, Matanza is going one-on-one with Pentagon Jr. for Matanza's Lucha Underground Heavyweight Championship, which is going to be great. Rey Mysterio versus Prince Puma. And at the end of this show tonight, Cortez Castro, I believe it is. Yeah, it's Cortez it's Cortez Castro because Mr. Cisco is the one with Joey Ryan. So Cortez Castro ends up getting killed. They send him in with a wire, that being Ryan and Cisco, the undercover cops. They end up sending Cortez Castro into Dario Cueto's office with a wire. He ends up sweating too much as he's trying to get information out of Dario Cueto, spills it. Dario Cueto finds out that he's wired, kills off the wire, and then ends up killing Cortez Castro with his Red Bull that's sitting on his desk. His triumphant, famous Red Bull there that's sitting on his desk. He ends up bloodying up the Red Bull by smashing in Cortez Castro's head, which was pretty interesting. And then he ends up getting on the phone, on this old payphone, ends up dialing up someone on the phone and says, "It's time." So I think we're going to see that next week. I don't know if that'll be the very end of the show. It probably will. It'll probably be at the end of the show after all the matches, the final scene. But I'm going to guess it might be, when he said it's time, I don't know if he's talking to like someone like Hernandez to come back, or like LAX, maybe. No. It's either going to be like Hernandez, or probably Ezekiel Jackson could be, because he was in his back pocket for a while there. Or it could be someone new, I'm not for sure. But it's going to be very interesting to find out who he was talking to. But nonetheless, very good show. I enjoyed it. That's my review. Stay tuned for next week. It's probably going to be a 2-hour special. You got all those big matches. Pentagon Jr. versus Matanza. Cyril Miedo takes the gold.